Welcome to the Mama Needs a Moment podcast. We are your hosts, Chrissy
and Cindy,
co-founders of Her Health Collective.
We are two moms obsessed with changing the way moms take care of themselves. We're so glad you're here. Let's dive in. Bridgett Springer is a seasoned financial advisor, planner, and administrator in the finance industry. Specializing in aiding small business owners, startups, and entrepreneurs, Bridget's goal is to empower people to be financially organized. She has dedicated her career to mentoring individuals on achieving their financial aspirations, firmly believing that, quote, cash is king. Bridget has obtained her BA and MBA from Rice University and solidified her expertise by obtaining her certification as a certified financial planner. She is the owner of the Financial Lady LLC, with the mission to guide you towards building a legacy of generational wealth and prioritizing your financial well-being above all else. Bridget is dedicated to educating, inspiring, and mentoring people on the path to financial freedom. And I am one of those people. Bridget, thank you for being here.
Yeah, I got to clap for myself. Thank you for having me.
Yes, you do.
Clap for yourself. That's important.
Yeah.
My ears perked up when Cindy was reading that and she mentioned cash is king, because my partner, he is a big fan of that philosophy. I hear it nonstop. I will say, though, that there's more and more places that won't accept cash.
No, we're cashless society now. Most places, you are right about that. We're going into a cashless society, and now we're going into Bitcoin. I've been places where they only accept Bitcoin.
No, I don't even understand Bitcoin.
Mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. But I hear that all the time. Babe, use cash. Babe, use cash. Use cash. Use cash. It's like, so it's like constantly have like a trickle of cash.
Well, you know why? Because you can physically see money.
Yes.
You can see. So if you spend $100, you know that you physically spend $100. And the likelihood of you going back to the bank and maybe getting some more money, it's like, okay, you think, but with the card, it is just a constant swipe, or even now tap.
Yeah, or just online ordering too. Like everything's hooked up to our Amazon is just horrible in my house for that. So the cash is really, truly, it's a great budgeting tool when you use that. Okay, I get the pleasure of asking you a fun question. None of us know what it's going to be. Dun, dun, dun. So Bridget, pick a number for me between 1 and 10.
4.
Oh, good one.
It's my daughter's favorite number.
It's my birthday. I was born on the 4th.
Oh, what month?
Of February.
I'm a February baby too. 27.
Okay, Bridget, here's your question. Who's someone you'd like to trade places with for a day?
Oh.
Her face was priceless on this one, y'all.
That's a good question. For a day.
For a day.
Oh, can they be alive or dead?
I was gonna say, can it be alive or dead?
Whoever you want. If you choose someone that has passed, we'll assume that you mean like when they were living.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Someone you've always admired, or the lifestyle they live, you want to experience it, or someone with all the knowledge that you wish you had, or I don't know, someone with a daredevil experience.
I'm gonna tell you the first person that literally popped in my mind.
Yeah.
Mother Teresa.
Oh, wow. I feel that
get
one.
it.
Yeah. Can you talk about that a little bit?
She was just the epitome of peace and love, and just the people that she met and who she touched, and wasn't expecting anything in return. And just would love to know, just from a woman's perspective, her experience. Some of the things maybe she didn't talk about, to walk in her shoes. That was the first person who literally
I love it.
Was Mother Teresa.
And to hear her thoughts, right? Are her thoughts truly always that? I mean, does she ever have a bad thought about someone?
Like,
I want to know this. I really want to know
like,
this.
I want to know. You can't be, are you good all the time? And did you have a moment that you curse somebody? Did you really? Are you always on? Like,
I would join you with that, because I really would love to hear her thoughts. Like when something bad does happen, what sort of thought processes does she have? How does she work through it? I think that's very powerful to know, because it can impact our own lives the next day when we return to our.
Because you can't tell me she didn't have moments that she was not Mother Teresa. Like she was weak as a person as well. She needed some help, somebody to, rub her head and tell her it's gonna be okay.
Well, that's true. I mean, therapists need therapists, right?
Yeah.
So who helped her? And
Who helped her?
when you said that, I could think of the calming presence that she must have when she walks in the room or when you talk to her. Have you ever been around those people that you just next to them and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel so peaceful right now? And she exuded that all the time.
All the time. Now, okay, if I have to give them this an extra, can I give an extra?
Sure.
Alive, Michelle Obama.
Oh,
Why? Because
one dead, one alive.
I would hands down want to trade places with her just so I can talk to Barack.
I like that.
Just for Barack, huh? Okay.
Or
Because I find her very inspiring.
So to
I
hear
know
her,
I want to talk to Barack, but no, I would be to trade places with her to see, like, okay, because she was very transparent for one. For a day to say you Michelle Obama,
I'm going to go back to my response again, like to be able to hear her thoughts. She is such a savvy, powerful woman, and to hear the thoughts behind the words that come out, like what's happening in the head. I don't know. I'm a former psychology teacher, so like I guess my mind immediately goes there. I'm like, what are they actually thinking?
That's what I want to know. And also to be around Barack. He's smart. He's just the way
smart.
he thinks. He's
so eloquent. Yes.
Eloquent, true gentleman. Like he loves his family, he loves his children. So I was just like, yeah, that's awesome. My live one. You didn't ask me that, but yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Thanks, Bridget. I'm going to swing us into talking about your expertise and your training. You frequently speak about building generational wealth and helping women become wealth warriors regarding money. This is clearly a topic you are passionate about. Mm-hmm. So can you talk to us a little bit about how this mission found you, and talk to us a little bit about women approaches in their finances? And because we often, I'll speak for myself here, and I'm generalizing a bit, but women tend to approach finances with some fear and trepidation. So how are you helping them overcome this and adopt this wealth warrior mentality?
So the first answer to the question, how did this mission start, right? Because of my parents were married for 48 years. They fought for 46 years of being married.
Oh no.
Literally the reason why the last 2 years of my dad's life, I think he was just done with fighting with her about money, but they fought. That was the number one fight growing up as a kid. And it was sad because they both lost because they both wanted to be right. They never couldn't quite come together and figure it out. My dad was more of that saver, had multiple sources of income. My mom was that spender. As soon as she gets it, it's gone. So I said at the end of the day, if I get married, whatever I'm gonna do, I need to get my financial life together. I do not want to have this argument. My husband and I argue, but money is not one of them. We've been married going on 8 years. We've never argued about money. So it all started with them. I had no idea it was gonna go to this. But I was just following, like, I want others to not be in this situation. And I know they are. I know that you fight. Look, divorce rate, 50%.
Right.
So if we can get this together, so that's my mission. That's what makes me do it. I didn't want to be my parents. That was not going to be my story. But I wanted to also empower women because, as you asked me, women, we have a different way. We've been conditioned, right? Just learn, that we can vote. And back in the day, a woman couldn't get a credit card unless her husband said okay. Crazy. So we have been conditioned, and our viewpoint of money is very masculine. Money, a lot of times women are afraid of it. Well, he can handle that because that's what we've been conditioned to be. It hasn't been that long ago that the husbands took care of everything. The men took care of everything. So, no, you don't need to worry about that. So that's still in our culture that I don't really need to deal with it. But you have to deal with it, right? And particularly in my culture, you're dealing with 80% single moms now. So you have nothing but women in the home. You need to understand if you have children, if you are married, if the spouse passes away, what's going to happen? And a lot of times women still don't have that answer. It's devastating when I see a spouse pass away. We have no estate plan. We have no will. We have nothing. We have no life insurance. And then we're left with, I got to sell the house. We got to move in with mom or dad or cousin, whomever, because we didn't have our stuff together. So a lot of times with women, it's just really getting them to the point to get comfortable with it, get past whatever their past hurts are. Because women, we feel like we are our mistakes. We make a mistake. I don't want to do it. I don't understand it. And so a lot of times you just won't do it.
I think women also have so much on their plate that adding one more thing, they're just like, oh my gosh, if I can delegate something.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And you can, like, your finances is like, even though I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you're a mom. I know, Cindy, you say you're a mom, right? So look, mom, you don't even have a moment to go to the restroom by yourself,
Right.
right? So it's like, how do I manage the household and the finances and all this, right? Look, we go to the doctor when we're not well, right? When we're not feeling good, we go to the doctor, go to the dentist, go get a financial advisor, get somebody to help you. I'm not saying you got to know everything. You need to have a working knowledge, but you don't need to be an expert at it. Once you really set up the plan initially, the plan is what it is. Now, things may change throughout life, and that's natural, but get the plan set up first. So then when life happens, you're not like, a deer in headlights trying to figure out what to do because life will happen.
That's what you do then. You
Yeah.
help. So the majority of our listeners are moms,
Yes.
and we're directing this towards them.
Mm-hmm.
They would see you to begin building generational wealth, or is there other tips that you would offer and beginner steps that you would offer?
So I'll tell you the initial thing that I do. I offer everybody a no cost complimentary meeting with me, 30 minutes. I get to know you, find out what's going on. What do you need support in, right? Where do you have some people I need everything. I don't have anything together. So I need to find out where you are. But I also need to learn more about if you're having financial issues, why are you having financial issues? The number one thing that I deal with, because I deal with a lot of moms, is debt. That's probably the number one thing that I deal with primarily with a lot of people, but debt. You can't invest. You don't have money to do things because you're drowning in debt.
Oh, it's such a
So
cycle. It's a vicious
yeah,
cycle. Yeah.
it's a vicious cycle, right? So you're like, oh, well, I need to save for retirement, but I'm paying all this debt. Why do we have the debt? Why have you refinanced your home 3 times to put the credit card debt in the home where that money could have been in an investment account? I'm empowering women to be more owners than consumers. When you own, that means you have a piece of the pie. So in any event in the future, if I need to, hey, sell this stock or do something, I can do so because now I'm an owner, not a consumer.
Do you
And
do
a lot of
the
us are operating in, being a consumer.
right? Do you do the estate planning and the will type stuff as well, or do you refer them out to someone that
I
you know?
refer them out and I have different levels. So I'm the one to make sure that, Papa, that's one great question. That is the number one area most people don't want to deal with because they feel like they're planning their death, right? I don't want to plan that. It's morbid, it's scary. What I do from accountability standpoint, I am literally walking them through. I have companies I go with, or they'll do the trust. You're dealing with attorneys, but they may say, look, we need a will questionnaire. We need all this information before we can start doing this. So I set up time 101 where we're doing the actual questionnaire. I'm making sure whatever documents they need, do you have your insurance, like whatever stuff they need, organizing everything. So I'm there as accountability support. So, but I'm facilitating it to the point where, hey, you have your meeting with the attorney, they're going to call you. I'm telling them every step of what they're going to do.
Great. Okay.
That's the biggest thing because if I leave it to you and say, you do it,
It won't get done.
it won't get done.
No.
Yeah, no, it won't
We'll
get
get into this in a minute about the various different options that you have for free education to help moms and the community that you support. But I
done.
would love to ask you, so something that we ran into personally as a couple is, yes, we were struggling financially and we didn't have extra money to be able to pay a financial advisor. And so it just added to that cycle of, okay, we have all this money budgeted. We have no money for hiring this financial advisor. We have no money for investing. How do you get out of that? Do you offer any support for people with different socioeconomic standings? How do we get out of the cycle?
I do. So based on your income, you're not going to pay what somebody would pay if they made a certain amount of money, right? Now, if you're telling me I'm a millionaire, okay, your fee is not going to be the same. I adjust it according to where you are. And then I'll do a payment plan. If you feel like, look, I can pay this monthly, I'll work with you. If you feel like I have no money at all, I teach financial education in my church. I'm over financial education in my church. We give away free classes. So if you feel like, and they're all virtual, recorded, there are different ways you can get some of the resources that you need. Another one is your bank. I'm going to say this with the bank. The bank is not going to give you a true detailed plan and all of that. They can guide you in certain things. You can talk to someone at your bank if you feel like you need some help with financial planning. They can help you to a certain level, but eventually it will cost you a fee. I'm gonna say that because then they're gonna look at managing assets and things like that. But they have free organizations I'm a part of. I do monthly, like you mentioned earlier. But that is so, it's kind of like I'm talking to a broad audience. So I'm not able to do that one-on-one and give you a plan that works exactly for you. So it is some investments you need to make. If you were willing to pay credit card debt and do things, be willing to figure out a plan on how to pay the financial advisor. It's a will, it's a way. So it's just figuring out how do you do that. A lot of times we feel like, oh my God, that's too expensive. I can't afford that. You can't afford not to. And it's just getting the help that you need. There are a lot of things that I can do within reason because a lot of times they want, okay, I need a tailored plan for me. And that's what you need because everybody's situation is different.
Yeah, absolutely. This episode is sponsored by Her Circle, the supportive and welcoming community for moms created by Her Health Collective.
Her Circle is a welcoming and supportive community for moms who are passionate about making change for themselves, their families, the community, and the world. Together, this village of women are revolutionizing the way moms take care of themselves.
From an active, private online community and the incredible daily chats hosted there, to our many gatherings, including support groups, Mom's Night Out, volunteer opportunities, book club, family adventures, coffee chats, and so much more. We love providing moms the chance to connect and create authentic relationships with one another.
The network of experts in Her Circle are a phenomenal resource and provide great learning experiences for moms on topics ranging from women's health to parenting. We cover the issues that matter to moms the most, from virtual expert Q&As to one-on-one wellness minute consultations and support groups. We are committed to getting moms in front of the information, experts, and support they need most.
To learn more about Her Circle, head to www.herhealthcollective.com. We have a limited number of spaces and the doors only open a few times a year. So be sure to add your name to the no obligation waitlist so you are the first to know when the doors officially reopen. You specialize in aiding small business owners, startups, and entrepreneurs. However, based on what we've already discussed, it also seems like you're a strong supporter of helping women, specifically with financial organization and prioritizing financial well-being. As Cindy mentioned earlier, you offer some free, and you had just brought this up again too, you offer free online virtual events. You recently had one called Discover Smart Money Moves All Women Should Know. And that's one I want to go see if it's in the archive somewhere because I want to know. Would you please share your feelings on why it's important to have educational opportunities that are specifically targeted to women? Is there really a difference between managing finances depending on gender? I know you mentioned that we live in a, I don't remember how you phrased it, in a male financial society.
Yeah, money is massive, right? If you look at some of your top sales, right, in the companies, majority of them are men. I'm in the industry of financial. I may sometimes be the only woman walking in the room. I'll give you a great example of why women need to understand certain money moves, understand things. A man and a woman can go apply for the same exact job, same background, everything is the same. They will pay her 35,000, but will give him 80,000. Why? And we look at that in sports. If you look at the WNBA and the NBA, he got a $200 million contract. All she got was 100,000. Same job. Now I have to go and do other things to make up or try to get to the income.
Mm-hmm.
Well, women have to do so much more. Where we know some smart investment moves, things that we should be doing, having making passive income, money while you sleep. You know, if it's a hobby, things that you know how to do, make that your passion. But at times, women, we do have to do more because it's just set up that way. I hate to say that, but that's just what it is. So it's important that women understand money, that they understand how money works and operates. It's important for you to have asset producing things in place that's going to yield you, and do certain investments. It's important. Also aligning yourself with the right people. It's so important. As far as for women, because I've just noticed that I've been in the industry. I'm sometimes literally the only woman. And that's just, it's hard at times. Not saying it's impossible and it can be done. It may be more hurdle, but I got them. I can jump over. It's just having that mindset. And I would say the biggest thing with women is having a powerful mindset because a lot of times women don't feel that they're worthy.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do for everybody else, but will not take care of themselves. And it's funny you ask what I do for moms. One of my clients, I help business owners. She's a doula. And so what she has me doing, we do a partnership together where I'll come in quarterly and I teach to her mommy group different financial techniques. It doesn't cost them anything. It's a 1 hour virtual that we do quarterly. It's called Mommy and Money series. So every quarter, I would say, I'll do different topics. So like the first class, I did estate planning. So this month we're doing all things how to manage your money. So interactive workshop. But I also offer a 30-minute consultation with everybody to help moms, to help them understand building that generational wealth, showing them things. So a lot of them are new moms. How do I navigate this?
It's so important. And I feel like a big piece of it, with the mindset piece in particular, is this messaging we've received all our lives that this is a thing that a man will take care of, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't understand this. This is too much for you. Just let him take care of it. It's just messaging that our society has fed to us over and over again. So I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of women probably come from a place of feeling that this is overwhelming and too much for them to grasp or understand. It feels like a lot to start navigating. So I think
It
that
is.
that mental piece is important. Yeah.
I spend probably 90% of my time dealing with the mental part when I'm dealing with clients. I really get to the root. When I'm dealing with my moms, I'm dealing with women, I am getting to the root of why you are here. I need to know your upbringing. I need to know your money story. Did you grow up in a house where did your dad take care of everything? Or did you grow up in a single parent home? Did you grow up in a home where mom and dad both took care of everything? Did you grow up in a household and nobody talked about anything? Because that affects your money story today. And so
Absolutely.
it's important for me to also get all the thinking regarding money. A lot of people feel money is evil. Money, I will never have enough. Or the one biggest thing my dad would always say when we go to the restaurant, he would tell my mom, stop looking on the right side of the menu. On the right side, that's where the prices are, right? Because you will only eat according to how much it costs. So you won't order it feeling that I'm worth $150 meal. You order it according to the cost. That's the only way you're going to eat. So you'll get the cheapest thing on the menu, something you may not like, because we have been conditioned to believe we're not worthy of $150 meal. And so it is the male dominated world telling us, I'll handle it. Don't worry about it. I know it's a lot. You got a lot going on and we'll handle it. No, you need to understand that you have to handle it. You got to be able to be self sufficient. Please just have a working knowledge of it.
Yeah, just that little bit of a working knowledge is enough to give you confidence, which
And
I,
that's
I think
building the
is,
confidence. It
yeah.
is. And believing in yourself that you can. That's the biggest thing. Can you believe in you? Trust you.
Well, speaking of that, another free virtual discussion you offer takes place every Friday, and it's about learning from your financial journey and not your mistakes. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by learning from the journey and not the mistakes?
So a lot of times we sit in, I made a financial mistake. I charged up the credit card and now I'm just sitting in that I charged up all this debt and I made a mistake. And so now we're still reliving the mistake. I had to file for bankruptcy. And that happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and I'm still today, it's still affecting me. Learn from it, not to do it again. We all make mistakes. No one is perfect, but we are in a society that tells us we got to look a certain way, we got to act a certain way, we got to be a certain way, right? Social media is very influencing. So a lot of times we make a mistake and you feel like you can't bounce back from it. I want you to learn from it and forgive yourself. And that's probably the biggest thing that I deal with a lot of women is the forgiveness. But when I'm talking to you, know that I have too made mistakes. And I'm transparent in some of these calls. I think a lot of times we're just trying to prevent it and you put more anxiety and stress on yourself. So one thing I'm transparent. I want you to know it's okay. Learn from the journey. Get to the point with being uncomfortable with making a mistake, because that's the only way you're going to grow. I do not want women to keep refinancing their home, filing for bankruptcy, having mounds of debt because they haven't figured out what the root of the problem is. And know that, yes, you made a mistake, but you're not the mistake. And what is the story that you're telling yourself? So a lot of times when I learn from my female clients, they don't want to be judged. So a lot of times they won't say anything or do anything because they're afraid somebody's going to judge them.
So relatable. I mean, 100%. Who wants to be judged?
Who wants to be judged? So I said, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to support you. I'm here to help you.
Yeah. Since financial advice, as you mentioned, is often personalized to the client, would you share some universal financial advice that can be applied right away to a couple that may be struggling with conflict over money?
Great question. My husband and I, before we got married, we became vulnerable and he pulled his credit report, I pulled mine. And so before we even started all of this, we got together. I knew what his expenses are. If he owed any debt, what's your credit score? Literally everything. We put everything out on table before we said I do. And I knew what I was walking into. He knew what he assumed that I was gonna have all this credit card debt. I asked me, "You have money saved? You have stuff together?" Yeah. I said, "I don't think I had at that time." I said, "My student loans. And I had 2 credit cards." And he was just like, "That's it? I thought you were gonna have more." So we ended up talking about things, and I learned, like you said, Chrissy, your husband, cash was everything. He didn't believe in credit. So he had no credit cards. So everything was cash. He said, "What are we going to do? I pay everything for cash and all that stuff." So we came up with, and this is couples, you got to figure out what is your money story? What is your goal? Every month we would sit down. What goals do you have when it comes to money? What are we trying to do? We're going to buy a house. We're going to buy a car. What are we doing? What do we want? Because his belief system and my belief system, 2 different words. Now we got to figure out what is our belief system. So we agreed that we will meet monthly. Couples need to meet monthly. Now, was those meetings always nice? No. At the beginning, you're learning each other, right? So you got to get through the little pains of it. But eventually, like, we did a budgeting system. We figured out what worked for us. So we sat down and said, this is what we want to do. How much money do we need saved? What insurance do you have outside of work? So what couples can do is come together and figure out what works for them. They have to create their money story. I'm the one that handles everything. But one thing I do help with my husband, like in the event that something happened to me, he knows there are 3 binders. There's one for insurance, all the insurance policies. It's a binder that has all our medical power of attorney, financial power of attorney, wills, trust, everything is in a binder. There's another binder that has everything with who's our electrical company, who's the water, who's the gas, who's our mortgage. He's a paper person, so I had to print out everything. So in the event, he knows if he goes in this binder, he knows where everything is. Who's the homeowners association? Who is I? Because yes, I may have everything set up on autopay, but he needs to know this. I may know it, but he needs to know it. So it's preparing, taking the time to prepare. Really, the biggest thing that couples can do is create their plan for them, get the support that they need. And that will stop the fighting. Trust me, we do not fight. We do not fight about money whatsoever. We have an understanding, even when it was times within the business when I was still having a business and working for myself, and my husband had got cancer. I got laid off a month later. I had the business. I had everything in place. I did not have to worry about the financial life. All I had to do was be there for him because I had did all the work beforehand. So it pays off. Life will happen.
It's really powerful. I hear you saying preparation is key, having these conversations and preparing the documents. I love the binder idea. I think that's really powerful. And I also hear, you didn't use these exact words, but I heard open communication and consistent communication. It's not a one-time conversation, but you have a pattern of communication in your relationship where you meet regularly and you have these sometimes hard conversations, but you're being open and honest. And you're both coming at it from a place of wanting to have your own money story, as you said, as a couple. And I think that's really powerful. So that preparation and that communication.
And I'm gonna say one thing too, because I was not my husband's first wife. So a lot of times women don't look at this. Say your spouse has been married before, or you've been married before. Do you know how many women and men I deal with that didn't change the beneficiary from the old spouse?
Wow. Okay. And you
So
help do all of
then
this, or you guide them and organize them to do this? Okay.
probably
She
none
said
of both.
yes, by the way. She
Yes.
nodded her
Oh
head.
yes. Sorry, yes, y'all. Yes, yes, yes. So it's two areas. Old 401ks, pension plans, you name it, retirement accounts. They've been married before, they still have their old spouse's name on as beneficiary. That money goes directly to whoever's listed.
Ouch.
Even though you're the current wife, we got to change things. Bank account, same thing. Do you have a beneficiary who's listed on a bank account? A lot of times people don't think about this, especially business owners. Do you have payment on debt? So you running this business, you're the business, right? Maybe your spouse is not on it. But if you passed away, do your spouse have access? Because what happens is the moment you call and say to the bank, hey, my spouse passed away, they're going to freeze the account. No activity, you can't go in and withdraw anything. So you need to make sure you have somebody on there, because if not, if you don't have it, then they will freeze the account until you figure out what's going to happen. Do you have a will? Do you have an estate plan? Who's the executor? The bank is going to be asking all of these things. If you don't have it together, then now we got money tied up. You need the money, but you can't get access to.
Mm. It's getting
So
that
I
ball
walked
rolling
in.
that's tough.
Yeah, but that's what I do. I always tell my clients, I said, look, ladies, we're going to do this one time and that's it. Life will happen, but let's talk about it, get the plan in place. So when life happens, you won't be, like a deer in headlights.
Right, right. Something
That's the biggest thing.
I've been reflecting on, and I'd like to take you back to for a little bit of clarification that
Sure.
could potentially be a little bit confusing to some people. For me, it is, because I'm internally processing this and I'm having this internal tug of war. I'm taking you back to the story that you had talked about with your parents going out to dinner and not looking at the side of the menu that has the price and then saying, but I'm worth paying more for a meal. And I put myself in that position because I've been there quite a bit, and thinking to myself, okay, I am worth this meal at this X amount of dollars. However, I do have this budget and we don't have a lot of money. So I need to really think about how much I'm spending. So it's this spending versus save mentality, along with this self-worth versus budget mentality. So how do you define this balance? How can someone still start to excel in thinking that they're worthy of it, but yet realizing that they might still be in a place where they can't spend the money?
So right now in this season in life, you may not be able to go to a high-end steakhouse. You're worth it, all of that. But your finances don't dictate that right now. You go with where you are in life. Now, you can also do this. You can say, look, right now, we can afford this. You can still maybe afford it. Do you say, do I just pay myself to get to the point where I can put $5 here, $10 here? I want this $150 meal. I'm worth it. I want it. Will you save for it to get it? Would you pay yourself a little chunk? Just put like get your little jar and say, this is my meal. I deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Will you make a certain sacrifice to get what you want? Will you make certain changes to say, this is what I want? I really want this meal. I'm worth it. Will I save for it? Versus the quick thing that most people do, I'll just put on a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
And then pay the credit card bill is you charge 200, but you're now paying the minimum payment because you can't afford to pay it back. So it's just really prioritizing where you are right now. Is it, this is going to be my treat? I paid off this debt, and my treat to myself, my reward is this restaurant. I no longer have the debt, but along the way, I've been putting, you'd be amazed if you put back $5, $10 here and there, how much it will add up. Because a lot of times we feel like we don't have the money, we can't do that. It's really having focus on what you're trying to do. What is the plan? You may not be in a season where I can put back $150, $200 for a meal. Where are you in your season? What do you need to be doing? What is the priority? But you still want to have a level of balance, right? I still want to have some fun. I want to feel like I'm paying all these bills. So figure out what works for you, though. Sit down at this season in life and say, what can I do? But that's literally looking at your money with a fine tooth comb. That means you're accounting for every dollar coming in. Say you make $5,000 a month, but your expenses is only $3,000. Then where's the other $2,000 going?
Right.
So it's really looking at your expenses. That's probably the biggest area when I'm dealing with women. The number one, probably a number two, number one is eating out.
Mm-hmm.
I have clients that spend $800 a month eating out. Number one. I had one that was spending $300 a week on Grubhub, getting the food delivered.
Yeah.
Didn't realize it was in the tune of $300 a week because they're just charging. So a lot of times you can be spending money. Oh, I don't have money. What are you spending on? You can ask now. You don't even have to figure it out. Whoever your bank is, go into your mobile app. I have Bank of America. Ask Erica. Erica, how much did I spend eating out for the month of May?
Erica's the talking bank teller on Bank of
Yeah,
America. Okay,
yeah,
that's kind of funny.
yeah. So
I'm
Erica,
at Bank of
all of them
America,
have
so I'm
them.
like, who's
All
Erica?
of, go into your app. Erica is that's her name, or you can type it in. Erica will tell you you spent X amount, in
Yeah.
food eating out. It will tell you. You will be amazed. You're like, in the month of May, I spent that. I didn't realize I ate that much, right? Or I spent money on this. So really look at what you are spending your money on. Is it subscriptions? Is Amazon at your door every day? So really looking at that.
Actually, you created something to help with this. The deck of cards. You referenced the deck of cards earlier when we were discussing something. You said, oh, I pulled one of the cards. What you were referring to is the deck of cards that you created that's meant to guide a person through a 52-week journey of improving their financial habits and achieving money-related goals. You created it because it's going to help individuals be financially organized regarding the estate planning, investing, insurance, and credit. Can you talk us through the process of developing this resource, which is fantastic, and all of the benefits that it offers?
Going over money can be overwhelming, right? So you pick where you want to start, like what area in your life that you need to start off with. That's the debt that you choose. If it's insurance, then pick the insurance card. So what it is you're going to read an affirmation. It's going to tell you every time the green deck is the insurance. You're going to pick it, read the affirmation, and it'll tell you exactly what to do. It may say this week, scan a QR code and book time with me so we can talk about what you need regarding insurance. The purpose of the card deck is for you to do it in, little small pieces, but I'm walking you through the process to make sure you get it done. If you did the estate planning deck, by the time you're done with that section of the card deck, you will have a full will, medical power of attorney, financial power of attorney. If you need a trust, you will have everything completed. So it's to help you start off with, so you won't get overwhelmed, because a lot of times we don't know where to start. So it's to help you get you organized, but also do it week by week. And then you won't be feeling overwhelmed. And the fact that I'm walking you through the process, I'm there to support you to make sure you get it done.
Oh, that's fantastic. So how would people get the cards?
You can purchase it on Amazon. You can actually go to my website at thefinanciallady.com.
Okay.
So if you're an Amazon person, you can get it shipped to your house.
I want to clarify something as well. With financial planning and coaching, are you able to go outside of state boundaries? Because we work with a lot of certified mental health therapists or doctors who have to be licensed in a particular state.
Mhm.
Can moms reach out to you from any state and be able to receive your services?
Yes. Even though I'm in the state of Texas, I do have licenses in other states. So actually, South Carolina and North Carolina, I am there because I do a lot of stuff.
Yay.
I am licensed in Louisiana. So if you have people in Louisiana, I am in New Mexico, Texas, of course, New York. And it depends. Sometimes my license doesn't need to apply, meaning, depending on what you're trying to do, I may not need to be licensed to do that when it comes to like insurance and things like that. But for the most part, I have clients in multiple states.
And then as far as using your services, I know it's client by client. What would that look like? Would it be setting them up on a chat with you every month? Would you just take a look at where their situation is and then set up a plan for them? Do you have classes that you recommend people taking?
It's a combination of everything. So I do like the initial discovery call. Everyone gets that. That's 30 minutes. That's for me to find out exactly kind of your diagnosis to figure out what we need to do and talk about the next steps. Some people need me monthly. Some people need me, twice a month, right? Or quarterly. So it depends. So where they are, you're not going to get rid of me. So I'm kind of like with you along the journey, depending on what we need to do. We need to do estate planning. Sometimes it may take us a couple of months to get that done. If we're doing insurance, that may just be something quick. So it just really depends on where they are. So this is not something that's going to get done in a month. It's a journey that we're going on.
Okay.
I only do one thing at a time. So I'm going to say this. If you're saying I need estate planning, I need insurance, and I need investment, right? We're not doing this all in the same meeting. So we're going to work on one thing at a time. Some things we can do together, but for the most part, we're going to be working on things one thing at a time. Like once we get the estate plan done, we're done with that. Let's move on to the next thing. It is a journey that I'm taking you on with me and to help you get where you need to be. A lot of times life is happening. I'm not a person of we have to get this done in a month. I know that's not realistic. It's just life. So we plan accordingly. I do workshops for my business owners now. That'll be starting up this month. Well, I only work with a group of 10 business owners. And so how that works is I'm excited about that because it's really to get business owners organized in their financial life. A lot of times they just don't know what to do. So I'm doing these small workshops that's going to set up where it's only 10. I'm not doing any more than that. And then I work with them. It's a workshop where we actually are going in. So by the time they leave, they can have some things done. And then it's a networking event after fact. So they'll be able to network, have a good time, happy hour. So it's going to be a really great experience.
Such a
But to
fantastic
really,
idea. That's
yeah,
brilliant. It's so wonderful to know that you're a resource out there for a hard topic like finances. It is a hard topic, and we need
mhm,
someone with you that has just a beautiful energy, some honesty, and that people can relate to and have great conversations with. So we're really excited to introduce you to our community and have them find out all that you offer to them. So for them to find out more, they can go to thefinanciallady.com, right? And
correct.
where
Go to
else?
thefinanciallady.com. I'm on Instagram. So if you're an
Okay.
Instagram person, it's underscore the financial lady.
Okay.
On IG, it's everything the financial lady. So if you're on Facebook, it's the financial lady. If you're on LinkedIn, if you're a person on LinkedIn, Bridgett Springer, the financial lady. But of course, my website goes to thefinanciallady.com and all my handles and everything is on there. If you want to get the card deck, you can purchase there and look Amazon. I know everybody has Amazon.
Well,
So
we're
you
so
can get it from
excited
there
to
as
have
well.
shared time with the financial lady.
I am so happy for the opportunity. I love what I do and the fact that I can help more women get to a point where they can be confident and believe in themselves and be that wealth warrior. That's important to me.
We truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for
No,
your
thank
time.
you.
We've enjoyed hanging out with you today, friend. We hope you got to finally enjoy a hot cup of coffee as you listened. Make sure you follow us so you're the first to know when we drop a new episode.
If you've enjoyed your time with us, let us know by leaving a review. We always love hearing from you. Until next time, stay true to you.